we're frozen. Anybody played guitar here before? Here, I'll unmute you guys. Who's played guitar before? Say yeah if you've played guitar.
I think I played a little bit.
A little bit? That's good. All right. Who else has played a little bit of guitar before?
My cousin.
Okay, your brother has? Cool.
So
What do you guys...
For fun.
Just for fun? Okay, that's fantastic. All right, great. So today we're going to learn a little bit about the different kinds of guitars. So I've got 3 different kinds of guitars here, and I'm going to show you them, and we'll talk about what they are and what they all mean. And we'll learn about the parts of the guitar, and then the strings of the guitar, and just sort of how the guitar works generally, okay? So to get things started here, I'm going to get out the first kind of guitar we're going to look at. And this is a classical guitar, or a Spanish style guitar. So we see the shape is kind of curvy. The body of this guitar has nice little indentions here that make it comfortable to hold. The neck is a little thick, so this right here is a little thick. And the headstock is slotted. Now, another thing about classical guitar is the strings here, if you can see them, are made of nylon. So these strings are made of a different material than what most guitars are made of. And it sounds kind of like this. And if I had to talk about the sound, it's a little more mellow. We use this kind of guitar to play classical music. So if you guys play piano, we use this guitar to play classical music. So kind of what you guys may have played on piano. We also use it for Spanish music. And all different kinds of music are played. Now, when we play classical guitar, we mainly use our fingers right here, okay? I'm going to unmute you guys for a second. Does anybody have any questions about the classical guitar? No? Okay, that's fine. So I guess just a little bit about the history of it. This guitar comes from Spain originally. So this style right here, we call it the Spanish guitar or the classical guitar, but they started making them in Spain around the 1890s or so. They made them like this. So, all right, so let me get back. All right, moving on from the classical guitar. We also have this kind of guitar. Now, has anybody seen, put your hand up if you've seen this kind of guitar before. I see some of you guys have one right now. Yeah, so this is a steel string guitar. It sounds like this. So this kind of guitar is used a lot in folk music or bluegrass music. I'm from North Carolina originally, so growing up I played a lot of bluegrass music. That stuff sounds kind of like this. So we can hear it sounds different than the classical guitar, right? Just nod your heads yes if you agree. So the sound, because the strings are made of steel, the sound is a little brighter. It's a little twangier, so you can hear. There's a little more of a metallic sound to it, and that's because the strings are made of metal. I guess a little bit about the guitar here. The bridge uses pegs to hold the strings in, and the headstock up here, we don't have any slots. We just have regular old tuning pegs, okay? Let me unmute you guys. Do you guys have any questions about the steel string guitar? No? Yeah, what's the question? Does anybody have a question? No? Okay, guys, so we'll keep going. So let me play a little bit more on this one for you. Just show you guys a little bit more of that folk music I was talking about. So this would be a tune that we'd play on this sort of guitar. So that's an example of the kind of music we would play on a folk guitar or a steel string guitar. Now, what do you guys know? Let me unmute y'all real quick. Does anybody know what this thing right here is that I was using to play?
A pick.
A pick. Okay, so how do you use the pick, Denise?
I do not know.
You don't know? Okay. So all we think about doing with a pick, and some of you guys may have them with you, so we can try them today. But we just think about who here plays piano. Does anybody play piano? Cool. So you guys know inside the piano, there's a hammer that hits the string, right? On the inside. So on guitar, we have to kind of be that hammer ourselves. So whether we're using our fingers or we're using the pick, we always think about pushing into the string and trying to push the string downward. So pushing the string toward the body of the guitar. So, you know, a little different than piano, but the same idea. We're just trying to push the string in to get a big sound. All right, so I'll come back to all these guitars later. And we're going to look at one other kind of guitar. And this one, anybody know what kind of guitar this is right here? Yes, one sec. Let me unmute you guys. What kind of guitar is this?
Electric.
Electric, exactly. So this is for all our rock and rollers out there. Electric guitar is used a lot in rock music and blues music. So this is a little bit of a guitar solo from a song by the Beatles. The song's called Get Back. So already you can hear that this is probably the most dynamic, you know, the loudest guitar, and that's because it's amplified. Does anybody know what these things underneath the strings are called right here? Does anybody know? What are they called?
A bridge?
A bridge. That's a very good guess. So the bridge is back here. We'll talk a little bit about the bridge later. These are called pickups. And what pickups do is they take the vibration from the string and they have magnets in them that send that to the amplifier. So depending on how much you move the string, or you can get great sound, loud sound out of the amplifier. So raise your hand. Anybody here heard some blues music before? Blues. So what do we think about when we hear blues music?
Smooth.
Yeah. So blues music, it's one of America's original kinds of music, just like rock and roll. A little bit of it would sound like this. So like. So that's kind of a bit of blues music. That's something we can do on the electric guitar. Also, a cool thing about the electric guitar is we can change the way it sounds. So it sounds nice and mellow, right? And by flipping the switch, we can get a totally different sound out of the guitar. Okay. So does anybody have any questions about all the different kinds of guitars that are out there? No? Okay, cool. So we covered nylon string, classical, steel string, and electric guitar today. Stop. All right, so I'm going to put you guys back on mute. And who has a guitar with them right now? I see a few people, so go ahead and let's all sit up and get our guitars. And we're going to go over the open strings of the guitar, okay?
Okay, that's better.
All right, guys. So we're going to go look at the open strings of the guitar. So of the strings on the guitar, the lowest one is the biggest one, right? So the one down here is the biggest string. Can we all take our thumb or a pick and play that low E? Bum, bum, bum. It's the lowest note we can make on the guitar, and it's the biggest string we have. So that's our sixth string. So let's all play that together one time, and we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 string. 3, 4, 6 string. Again, 6 string. Yeah, and you guys can play around with that. I see some people, maybe if we're left-handed, we need to hold it with our right hand. So turning the guitar over so that's comfortable. And again, we want to have these bigger strings at the bottom of the guitar. There we go. Yeah, now everybody's getting it. There we go. Good. So let's all do that again. So 6 string. This is the lowest string. So we're going to take our thumb and let's give that a play. So 6 string. Now the name of this string is E. So this is our E, or one of them. So low E. Now we're going to move up to the 5th string. So this will be the next string down. And this string is an A. So A. Let's all play that together. A. And you can use your thumb, a pick, or your finger, however you'd like to play the string. A. And then the 4th string is going to be D. So let's play the next string up. We've got D. Very good. Now I'm going to unmute you guys, ask you a question. So what notes were the 3 strings we just covered? What was the lowest one?
E.
E, the lowest. What was the second lowest one?
A.
A, very good. And what was the 4th string?
D.
D, very good. Okay, so you know how when we're reading music, we remember, every good boy does fine, or face on the space. We find ways to remember things. We're going to come up with one for the guitar today. So for the bottom 3 strings, we're going to remember Eddie, 8, dynamite. Okay? So Eddie, 8, dynamite. All right. So now we're going to move on to the next 3 strings. So we just played the bass strings. So if you play piano, this is like your left hand strings. Now we're going to move on to the treble strings, okay? So this is our 3rd string. It should be the one right under the middle. And this is a G. So G, G. Good. This is our 3rd string from the very top. G, G. Good. Then our next string is going to be B. So you can take your finger or your thumb. We're just going to play that open B right there. And then, can I get somebody, I'm going to unmute you guys. Can somebody remind me what the name of the lowest string was?
E.
E. So just like the lowest string, the highest string is also an E. Can we all play that high E? Good. Yeah, tuning's a little off over there, but some of us will figure that out in time. Anyways, I'm gonna go through the strings one more time. So it's E.
E.
Everybody play low E back to me. Okay. So tuning discrepancies, but we know that's the 6th string. Then next we have A. Everybody play A back to me. Good. Then D. Good. Okay, hearing some C sharps, that's fine. Next we have G. Finally, B. And then our top string, just like the bottom, is
E.
E. Very good. Okay, guys. So we can remember these strings by going Eddie, 8, dynamite, goodbye, Eddie. So that's kind of an easy way that one of my students gave me to remember that. And I haven't forgotten it since, so I would stick with that. All right. So in the right hand, we can use our thumb. You know, we can use our fingers. Or we can use a pick to play. Does anybody have a pick with them today?
I can.
Some people do. All right. So if you have a pick, I want you to take the pick, and we're just going to make a lot of noise. We're just going to try going just on one string. So we're just going to go back and forth. Down, up, just like that. Good. Now, if you don't have a pick, I want you to take your finger. So we can take our index finger or our pointer finger.
No, I win the game.
And also the middle finger.
Time.
Yeah.
Okay, Mom, be quiet.
So index and middle finger. And we're going to do the same thing. Just go back and forth those 2 fingers. So we're going to practice making some noise together on 3. So pick a string, grab your pick, or decide which fingers you're going to use. And we're going to try to all play together at the same time, okay? Just make some noise. So 1, 2, 3. Just make some noise. Good. Okay. So that's kind of how our right hand works. Now, our left hand changes the sounds we get out of the guitar. So without my left hand, this is what the open strings sound like. But when I put my left hand in a shape, we can make really pretty sounds. So we need to talk about what our left hand does. Does anybody know what these metal lines are called under the strings right here? Anybody have an idea?
Frets.
Frets, very good. So frets divide up the guitar the same way the keys divide up the piano into half steps, okay? So you can hear that the guitar, it divides the string into half steps, so just little steps at a time. Now, what fret we're on determines what the strings sound like. So what I want everybody to do, can we find the 3rd fret? So that'll be right here. So 1, 2, and then 3. So the 3rd fret. And we're going to go to the 1st string, so the highest string. And I want everybody to take one finger, put that finger on the string, on the 3rd fret. And we're just going to strum, okay? So my 1st finger is on the very top string, on the 3rd fret. I'm going to put my finger right next to the fret. Just give that a strum. Nice, okay. So we can hear what it sounds like when we take our finger off now. So let's strum with our finger off. Good. Now let's put our finger back on. Okay, so getting everything in tune is is something that helps a lot. If we're out of tune, it's just like, does anybody here play violin? Anybody here play violin or cello? A little bit? What? So, violinist has to make sure they're in tune the whole time. So on guitar, we use these to keep in tune. That said, there's so many of you guys, I don't know that we want to tune everybody today. What we can do, though, is we can kind of just look at the way we can change notes. So let's go put our third finger or any finger back on the third fret here. And I want us to just strum the first 3 strings. So if you have a pick, we're going to put the pick on the G string and just strum down. Good. Yeah, so use your finger. Good. Now, I see some people holding the guitar like this. There's more than one way to play guitar, but can everybody try to get the guitar up like on their left leg so that it's sitting nice and comfortably between their legs? All right, good. Yeah, let's all just strum some notes, get some sounds out. And what I want us to do, we're going to go from the first fret to the second fret to the first fret. So watch me one time. So I go third fret, then second fret, then first fret. We can go over. So 3, 2, 1. Can we all try that? So we're just going first fret, second fret, first fret, and then open. Let's all try that. So let's start with our finger on the third fret right here, okay? So I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, third fret. All right, then I'm going to move to the second fret. So move my finger back. Good. And then first fret. Good. Then finally, all open. Try that again. So we'll go third fret. So let's all see third fret. So some people are playing their own notes. That's okay though. And then second fret. So again, look at my hand. See how I'm staying right here in the first 3 frets? Second fret. Everybody give me a strum back. All right, then first fret. And then open. All right, cool. So do you guys have any questions about the guitar right now? Anything you've wondered, or anything you've ever wanted to learn on guitar? Maybe some people who haven't talked yet. Is anybody curious about anything that we do on guitar? Okay, I guess not. We can keep going. So what I want to do, we're going to all make a little bit of noise together for a few minutes here. So I'm going to play a little bit of a backbeat. And I want you guys to just fill in the space. So you guys can make noise on the strings or play around with playing some single notes. I want us all to just practice making some noise. And it's going to sound crazy, but let's have fun, okay? So I'll start. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Everybody make some noise. Nice. If you're not playing guitar, you can still play drums. Nice. time. All right, almost done. Very cool. All right, so let's talk about some ways we can make noise on the guitar. So we all know what a chord is from piano, maybe? When we play chords, when we play more than 3 notes at once, right? So when we do that on guitar, a lot of the times we just strum. Can I get everybody to just strum one time? It can just be on open strings. Strum all the strings. Yeah, so tuning's not going to be exactly right. So let's just practice sending our finger or our pick on the string. Good. So what you want to look for is your finger all the strings, okay? So at first, when we first start doing it, we go really slow. We just do 1, 2. So like anything, we start slow, but eventually we get good at it to where we can strum really quickly. And all I'm doing is the same thing we're practicing right now. Send our fingers out. So let's all strum together on 4, okay? Ooh, I like the I like the green. That's very cool. So 1, we're all gonna strum just through all the strings and learn how to strum. So 1, 2, 3, 4. What kind of notes were we playing right there?
We're playing all strings at once.
All strings at once? Was it a whole note? Was it half note, quarter note, eighth note?
16 note?
16. I mean, maybe if we were going really slow. Though we were playing quarter notes there, so we should always try to start with sort of slower tempo and something that's manageable when we're learning this. Let's try that one more time, just strumming quarter notes. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're gonna do one more. Everybody to cut off the sound, okay? 4 and. How do we stop sound? What do we do? We put our hand on the strings, right? So let's all make a really loud sound one time, and then we're going to cut it off when I say so, okay? So loud in 1, 2, 3, 4. Loud. Cut it off. Let's do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Loud. Didn't get you all at the same time. Let's try it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Loud. And cut it off. All right. Good job, guys. All right. So we've got a couple minutes left, and strumming is one way to play notes. But another way we can play notes is by plucking the string, okay? So I want everybody to take a finger. Let's take our pointer finger in the right hand. And we're going to pick a string, any string. We're just going to pluck 2, 3, 4. Any string you want. sound hole. Okay. All right. So single notes, maybe a little more time would be fun for that. We only got 1 minute here, so let's make a little more noise. We're going to do the cutoff game, okay? So everybody get your guitars back up one last time. And we are going to make some noise, okay? In 4, 3, 2, 1. Making noise. Lyrics. Good. One more time. Make some noise. 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, that was a good one. Good job, guys. Okay, so that's all the time we have. It's been a lot of fun introducing you guys to the guitar. Does anybody have any questions before we go our separate ways? No? Did everybody have fun making some noise at least? All right, well, I'm glad. I had a lot of fun making noise, okay? So hopefully I'll see you guys for another one of these. I'm Mr. Ian. Hopefully I'll see you around the school sometime soon, okay, guys? Everybody stay safe, be careful, and play a little guitar now that we got some